starting the tour right here in Halifax. Any other questions from the floor? Your opportunity. What is your name, ma'am?
My name's Tara. And last time you guys were here, you played the Metro Center, which is like huge venue, huge. Tonight you're playing the Kennard Center, which is, you know, a lot of people, but definitely a smaller venue, a little more intimate. Which do you prefer?
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, this tour that we're doing, it's supposed to be in theaters, and there's supposed to be 2 nights. So we want to do the Rebecca Cohen 2 nights. So Clumsy and Spiritual Machines the next night. Unfortunately, it's been really difficult for us to string a whole tour together with all those theaters because so many people play the theaters and there's such great venues. So we had to settle for the Kennard Center. But we've been rehearsing there. Yeah, I take that back.
I'm putting that on internet.
No, but it's true but we've done our best. We've been in there for 3 days now. And so the sound's great and the lighting is pretty special, and it's basically 2 separate shows. It's like the record, Clumsy first, and there's an intermission where you guys can I'll go buy things, merchandise and stuff, and then we come back and we do a full set.
Tonight, do you have an opening act, or is it straight up you guys full out? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's the true meaning of an evening with. You're gonna be sick of us by the end of the night.
For you guys to come out with no warm up, no anybody to get the crowd going it's really impressive, honestly, because you guys know you're gonna get us going far beyond any opening band. So we're super. So
maybe we should just keep the tour here.
Let's do it.
I'm sure the Rebecca Cohen's available in like a week or 2, right?
Yeah. Do it, give her. Just give her.
Give her, as they say on the East Coast.
There we go. The new saying for the tour, give her.
Any other questions? Time is now. Anybody?
You're all so shy.
A lot of shy folks here.
Oh, he's got one.
Okay, I knew Mike over here would have a question for you.
I got the cliche question, but first time you heard yourselves on the radio, what'd you feel? What's it like?
Oh, I hated it. Yeah? I still do.
Really?
I just can't listen to myself. I want to throw up.
Where did you first hear yourself on the radio? Was it in Toronto?
I don't know. I can't, honestly, I suppress all that stuff.
Really? Huh. Do you feel the same way about watching video of the band?
Oh, kills me.
So how are you in the studio?
Photo shoots. How am I in the studio? Studio's fine because it's this very isolated environment. I feel like no one's ever going to hear this, so we're having fun and it's fine. And then,
honestly, for me, it's cool hearing it on the radio. However, the most exhilarating moment is when you're writing and recording in the studio, and all of a sudden you put one part on, and it's starting to make the song better. And Raine's got some lyric that makes the song better. And like the first time you get a mix of a song back when it's completed, that's like the biggest goosebump time. And between that and by the time it gets to the radio, you've heard it so much that it's like, oh yeah, that's the song. But it seems like in the studio is when that's when I've been most excited hearing things.
But you don't share the that feeling of being repulsed by hearing the band on the air, Steve?
I don't actually. No.
Well, that's an interesting take.
Then again, I'm not singing, so.
Yeah, that can be a lot more personal, laying yourself out there. We have, here we go. Devin from Molson has a question for you guys. Devin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, on your live album, you talk about you started in Montreal. Why'd you pick Montreal to get things kicked off, being Ontario?
I think we played the Bell Center there, and I think that show, in particular, was just a great show. You know, we recorded 4 or 5 shows, and that one was really amazing. So that was, you kind of, unfortunately, for us anyway, it really varies night to night, the way the band plays and the way I sing and stuff. So that was just a special night.
I'm going to give you one last shot. Okay, we got a raised hand here. One question. There we go. Anybody else before we? Because I'll take one last shot at questions, and if anybody else has one. Okay, this will be the final question then. And your name again?
Tara. But we've kind of got a mixed group. We've got people that have listened to you for years and years and years and years and years, and we've got some people that just have come into you for the last few years. So for those of us who don't know, where did Our Lady Peace come from? The name itself, where was it inspired from? What made you decide?
I went to U of T and I took a bunch of literature classes and was always into poetry. And it's an old war poem that I found by a guy named Mark Van Doren. It was just a really interesting poem, and the name was kind of, I don't know, must have been my Catholic upbringing because it's been a pain in the ass, really.
How has it become a kind of a thorn?
I remember a place in somewhere in Oregon or something. We were playing a little theater. There were a couple of people were protesting and sending letters because
Oh, it was like a church.
It was a church, yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's one of those names where I think, it just has that tie to Catholicism.
You run into that more in the States than in Canada?
Probably, yeah.
And how many times we've had to hear Our Lady of Peace? Yeah. Oh, from
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Our Lady of Peace. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Vanessa Pearson, thank you very much for your hard-earned cash that went to the Q104 Children's Trust Fund, and for being here today with your friends. Chef Richard and his crew from Chef Live, thank you very much for the wonderful eats. You'll have to join us for some Eggs Benny in just a moment, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Molson Canadian, thanks to Devin and the Molson Ambassadors as well for being here today. Sony Music Canada, thanks Danielle. And to Raine and Steve from Our Lady of Peace, thank you very much for joining us.
Our pleasure.
Studio Q. Thanks, folks.